Kalyanji, namaste.
Namaste, Esther. How are you?
Good, I'm good.
And Ankur? Can you come on the...
Namaste.
Namaste, Ankur. Welcome to India.
Yes. I am joining from Surat, Gujarat, India. Happy to be on another webinar. If you haven't yet put in the chat, please let us know where you are zooming in from. I had our Ayodhya Cultural Renaissance music video playing in the background. We'll get started in 4 or 5 minutes at the top of the hour. If you know other people who might be interested in supporting HUA, getting involved, please share and invite them to participate. Kalyanji, Estherji, do you want to say something before?
By the way, Ankur, the music video, I couldn't hear the music at all, so I don't know what...
You couldn't hear the music?
No, sound was probably not on. Why don't you play for the next few minutes?
Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Namaste. Welcome, everyone. In the background, I had the Ayodhya Cultural Renaissance video music going on. Let me share that link if you'd like to put that in your browser and catch the full video later. Let us get started. Sorry about that. Please let us know where you're joining in from for today's webinar, HUA, the Yatra and the Yajna. So we have, who do we have? We have Glenn from Oregon. Thank you for joining. We got Jason from California. Glad to have you on with us today. We got Mohan Chalani from Orlando, Florida. Thank you, thank you. Babita Bhaktaji from San Francisco. I'm Ankur Patel, the Director of Outreach, joining from Surat, Gujarat. And Estherji, do you want to give a quick shout out? Let folks know where you're joining in from.
I'm joining in from Atlanta.
Wonderful. And Kalyanji, you're in Dallas, is that correct?
Well, I'm actually in Houston today, but I'm from in Texas.
Nice. Dr. Sherry Lindemood from Florida, thank you for joining. Jayanti from Seattle, glad to have you on. If you haven't yet put in the chat, please let us know where you are zooming in from, and we'll get you a shout out shortly. So, you know, HUA has been on this journey. We've done so much, and we need your support in so many different ways. And the Friends of HUA is the infrastructure, the idea, the grouping that we have established, and we are launching now across the country to take HUA to the next level. So we're going to talk about that. And let me just give Hareshji from Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for joining. Patrice from Maryland. Glad to have you on. And with that, let me hand it to, I think, Kalyanji, do you want to go first, or Estherji? And we'll get into a little bit of the context and take this webinar forward, and give the rest of you who are putting your names in the chat a little shout out shortly. Kalyanji, Estherji?
Okay, let me start here. Then I will maybe you know, where we'll begin is just a little biographical note from my side, and then I'll give it to Esther to share a little bit about herself. You know, my journey to Hindu University of America went through certain phases. In the early days, I was very confused about Hinduism, even though I was born in a Hindu family, and I did not get any significant grounding in Sanatana Dharma. And so in a rapidly secularizing world, I was also drawn into being so-called secular, agnostic, atheistic, not quite committed to the study of Hinduism. But thankfully, I had the benefit of, at one point in time, more than 30 years ago, you know, seeking out a teacher, a traditional teacher from Sanatana Dharma, was Swami Dayananda Saraswati of Arsha Vidya Gurukulam. And that turned out to be a very pivotal moment in my life. And he was able to gradually ground me in a proper understanding of Hindu Dharma. And you know, I can't emphasize enough the benefit, the value, the importance of having a teacher in one's life. Because without the teacher, there is always room for confusion, unclarity, doubt, and all manner of skepticism, which today I believe most people are living with, regardless of what their particular traditions, religious traditions they were born into. Anyway, fast forward, I realized at some point that the teaching of Sanatana Dharma in a systematic way in the academic environments, both schools and colleges, was in one sense missing, almost missing completely. And in another sense, where it was present, it was very distorted. It was essentially a colonial European Eurocentric view of Hinduism that was being presented as official knowledge of Hinduism, of Hindu history, Hindu culture, Hindu civilization, etc. Well, here we are. I committed to the rejuvenation of this university 5 years ago. And in fact, it was April 1st, 2019 that I joined HUA full time. And we've come a long way in the last 5.5 years now. I'll say a lot more about this journey and where we are going in the future. But I'd like to invite Esther to share a little bit of her journey in a few minutes, what brings her to Hindu University of America. Over to you, Esther.
Namaste, everybody. My name is Esther Dhanraj, and I am at the Hindu University of America as the Director of Advancement. And I joined HUA recently, that is in 2024, January of 2024. What drew me to HUA is I'm not as fortunate as Kalyanji has been in terms of finding a guru and being led and guided by a guru. But my journey into the religious studies, like academics of religion, started through my time as a Christian. I was born in a Hindu family, but then was converted to Christian and had lived a Christian life for about 25 years of my life before I decided to join a seminary to get academic understanding of Christianity. And when I joined a seminary, did my Master's of Divinity, which is the Christian degree, graduate degree for on apologetics, the defense of Christianity. I realized the importance of academics in the seminary, because 25 years before that I had been a Christian and never understood Christianity like I understood when I joined the seminary. And then long story short, I decided that Christianity was not for me because it wasn't answering a lot of my questions, which I thought. I had so many questions because of which I went to the seminary, and the seminary only increased my questions. It couldn't answer. But what I took away from it is religion has to be understood not just from the faith perspective. Faith is very personal, but it has to be understood through academics. And so I decided to quit Christianity, but went ahead in pursuing my religious studies, and that opened doors for me to look at other worldviews. So I have gone through being an agnostic, I mean Christian to atheist to agnosticism to Hindu, and now I identify myself as a Hindu. Uh, so when I was in the seminary, I mean, with my seminary background, I was looking for similar academics on Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma. And I mean, getting into HUA was, if you actually look at it, it looks like it is by chance, but I would think that it is, I kind of manifested my role, my joining of HUA, because I honestly think that we lack deep understanding of Sanatan Dharma from the academic perspective. Also, because we do not have enough writings, enough scholarship on many of those concepts, philosophical concepts, religious concepts of Hinduism, I think we are easily cancelled today. And so when I knew that HUA does exist, something like HUA does exist, which can call itself the Hindu seminary, I was really excited, but I did not join. This was back in 2021. I first heard of HUA. It just came up on my feed on Facebook, I think. And I didn't give it much thought, but I knew, okay, somebody is doing something, and I was glad, and I just left it at that. And then it happened. I mean, a bunch of things happened, and then I ended up in HUA. Um, and I think this is a calling. Working in the Indic/Dharmic academic field is my calling that I have manifested through my strong desire to work in the Hindu academic area. So that is my journey in a few words. Over to you, Ankur.
Okay. All right. Great. Yeah, Ankur, you want to say something?
Yeah, wonderful. That was great to hear that journey. You know, Dr. Lindemood is saying very similar journey she had. Her Christian seminary education motivated her to search further and found HUA. And been in classes with Dr. Lindemood. Glad to have you on. Raj from Portland, thank you for joining. Glenda from Oregon, not Glenn, sorry about that, Glenda. Glad to have you. Philip from Florida. Yeah, and the poll, I'll just end that, share the results real quick so we can see there are a few first timers, quite a few regulars, some folks who've attended before, and 11 people who have taken at least a course at HUA. 4 of you are enrolled in programs. Glad to have all of you with us today. Glanji, where would you like to take this now?
Yeah. So I have prepared a few slides that I'd like to share. It's kind of setting the stage for the conversation today. So let me bring up my slides. Yeah. So, there are 2 Sanskrit words here that are being used. One is a yatra. A yatra means a journey, but not any kind of journey. It's a particular kind of journey. It is a spiritual journey, a journey of a quest of some kind, where you are pursuing some kind of spiritual awakening, spiritual knowledge, spiritual practice, spiritual cultivation. There is a yatra, and Hindu University of America has been a journey from 1993 onwards. A journey that has gone through many ups and downs over the years. But it is also a yajna, a yajna. A yajna is another Sanskrit word which represents, it's often translated as into the English word sacrifice. Okay, and it is associated with the Vedic fire ritual, the sacrifice. I would expand the meaning of yajna much more. Really, it means yajna is a word that means something at 3 different levels. The physical level, physical, material, manifest level, where it constitutes an effort, an intense effort towards accomplishing something. In most situations, a collective effort. For example, you could say, the effort to win an election is a kind of yajna. It's a tremendous effort. Millions of people participate, except that it doesn't have a spiritual component. It's an effort in the realm, in the adibhautika realm. There is a physical, material realm. Yajna also has a adidaivika realm, and this is a realm that is subtle, in which we invoke the divine powers and energies in this world, the subtle unmanifest powers that do exist, and these powers can either align with our efforts, support our efforts, or throttle our efforts and thwart our efforts. So yajna is this invocation of the divine powers and energies to participate with us in partnership towards the accomplishment of a cherished outcome. That is at the Adi Daivika level. But yajna also has a third level of significance, the Adhyatmika, which is the realm of self-knowledge, self-knowing, knowing ourselves as spirit, as pure spirit, uncontaminated by the content of our consciousness, right? And that knowledge, that journey of self-knowledge is also yajna. And the fire here symbolizes, light symbolizes the emergence of knowledge at all three levels. Yatra and a yajna. And Hindu University of America is both a yatra and a yajna. And today we're going to speak about Friends of HUA, Friends of Hindu University of America. It's a concept. It's an idea. It's an emerging idea. It has been around for a couple of years now. And we've been generating activities around this idea of Friends of HUA. But before we get into that, I'm going to just present the vision of Hindu University of America. Vision: promoting dialogue across disciplines, cultures, and civilizations while enabling self-discovery, conscious evolution, and harmony. The Hindu University of America will set the standard for the study of Hindu Dharma. And, in fact, it is setting the standard for the study of Hindu Dharma already for the last 5 years. The mission: Hindu University of America provides education and knowledge systems based in Hindu thought, involving critical inquiry, ethics, and self-reflection, committed to fostering the culture and traditions of Hindu Dharma in an atmosphere of academic excellence and freedom. It prepares students for service, leadership, and global engagement. And our goal is to create graduates from our university who are engaged in service, they are providing leadership, and they are engaged globally on a variety of issues, contemporary issues that face us as humanity. Our institutional goals is number one, a restoration, to recover and institutionalize the Hindu spiritual, intellectual paradigm of Dharma. And the word recover is very important because the colonial era and the Islamic era prior to that have indeed submerged this paradigm largely, and we are collectively in an era of recovery, recover and restore from the shambles of history. Stewardship: to take responsibility for preserving and teaching Hindu dharmic knowledge traditions for current and future generations. I mean, this is an intergenerational activity, and we just happen to be in the current moment. We are one generational link in a long chain that has been going on for thousands of years, and we want to manifest our responsibility in stewarding, in providing stewardship for preserving and teaching Hindu dharmic knowledge traditions through this university, and enable others to do so as well. Interrogation: critically examine Orientalist and Indological narratives on Hindu culture, civilization, and traditions. A lot of the received knowledge, what we have received from colonial era narratives, from Western academic scholarship about Hinduism, is derived from the Orientalist and Indological views that got shaped during the post-Enlightenment or Enlightenment-driven colonial era thought process. We want to investigate it, interrogate it, question it, look at where those perspectives came from. What were the assumptions, preconceptions, biases that informed the generation of those narratives in that era, and how that has persisted now all the way even till today. And lastly, service, to create new knowledge, articulate and offer Hindu dharmic approaches to problems faced by humanity and the earth. Of which kinds of problems? There are plentiful, and I don't want to go into all the varieties of problems that humanity faces today. But we believe that these goals speak to the past, the present, and the future. Now, HUA inaugurated our campus in April this year. So here are a few pictures from our campus in Florida. It's in a place called Groveland, Florida, or an hour west of Orlando, Florida. There's a little puja that we did to inaugurate the campus. There are people attending the puja in traditional attire. Here is an image from everybody who assembled to inaugurate this particular facility. Since I joined in April 2019, HUA has been growing steadily. And there are two bars here, two lines here. One is this bar graph, which shows the number of students registered in courses. Okay, and then the orange line is the number of students enrolled in programs of study. The difference between courses and programs is as follows. The program is a sustained commitment. You have to take course after course after course over many months, many years maybe, to complete a program and earn a certificate or a degree. A course registration is just a single course. I mean, you do one course and you have no commitment to taking another course, or maybe you do, but it's a snapshot of a number of people who are taking one course in the university at a given point in time. Now you can see that there is a sharp jump in the graph in between summer and fall, and this represents the addition of about 200 students from the California College of Ayurveda who became part of the Hindu University of America family. Okay, so there are some numbers here. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but the key message is that we have a good trajectory going right now, and we have a intention and commitment to continue this journey, this yatra, and take HUA to the next level, which will require more energy, more participation, more activity in terms of the friends of HUA getting involved in supporting this particular journey. In the future, there are many pillars. HUA will have many pillars. Okay, so for example, we have been working the last 5 years on the first pillar, that is Hindu studies and Sanskrit. And the second pillar that we just added with the acquisition of the California College of Ayurveda is Ayurveda and integrative health. And there's an important point, important dimension of Hindu thought. It is a knowledge system based in Hindu thought. That is how we approach health and wellness from a Vedic Hindu standpoint. In the future, we will have other pillars these are yet to emerge, such as Arthashastra studies, media and mass communication, performing arts, and so on. The merger of CCA with HUA is a critical event that happened this year. We just concluded this merger in August of 2024. CCA was founded by Dr. Mark Halpern. It's one of the best and oldest colleges focused on Ayurveda in the United States of America. And the CCA is now a school within the Hindu University of America. Now, this is a $5 million project for us. Fully acquiring and integrating the college is a $5 million project. We've only paid the first $500,000 towards this acquisition, and we expect to be, in stages completing this acquisition over the next few years. So this brings us to a very important opportunity for all of us. Very quickly, programs offered by CCA there are these 3 programs: Ayurveda Health Counselor Certificate, a Clinical Ayurvedic Specialist Certificate, a Medical Ayurvedic Specialist Certificate, and then 3 secondary certificates such as Panchakarma, Ayurveda Yoga, Ayurvedic Yoga, Yoga Nidra Teacher Certificate. And these programs are offered in full-time, weekend, and mentorship formats. And these are new additions, and these are professional certifications which are now available. And I encourage all of you to take a look at these programs and see if you're interested in these programs. If we look at the next 25 years, the developmental phase, in terms of our aspirations, we have a tremendous potential. The School of Ayurveda and Integrative Health, of which CCA is a very important part, is just the beginning. So Arthashastra studies, media studies, performing arts, a School of Hindu education, School of Cultural and Civilizational Studies, and this is a school that can bring in one school the study of the variety of cultures, not just dharmic cultures, the Hindu, Buddhist, Jain, Sikh, but also other cultures around the world, cultural and civilizational studies. Advanced studies, Institute of Advanced Studies for interdisciplinary work across sciences and the humanities and many disciplines centered on challenges and problems. Then a variety of centers like Center for Conflict and Peace Studies, Center for Post-Colonial Hindu Studies, for Sustainable Development, for Leadership for the 21st Century, Psychology, Counseling, Chaplaincy, Family and Gender Studies, Hinduphobia, the study of Hinduphobia, and then a variety of projects such as Hindu American Digital Archives, HUA Press, Reconstructing Hindu History Research as a research program, library and manuscripts, archives, films and documentaries. So this slide really develops a kind of a vision for what could happen potentially over the next, say, 25 years, if the Hindu community were to get behind these opportunities. Okay, there is somewhere between $500 million to $1 billion in investments that will be required to realize this. But I am putting this out there because we have to think big nowadays, and it is possible that people who have the capacity to support the development of a university like this may come forward and make the gifts that will enable these developments. Just with the Ayurveda focus, the possibilities for the future are substantial. We want to expand research and clinical studies in Ayurveda, fill the evidentiary gap that exists in Ayurveda as far as medical research and papers and publications, right? We want to start to define the field of integrative health, holistic health, integrative health more sharply with an Ayurvedic foundation, expand the practice of Ayurveda in the West, and that includes accreditation for Ayurveda, licensure for Ayurvedic doctors, and reimbursement from insurance companies for Ayurveda practice. We want to leverage the physicians of Indian origin in the USA to generate a lot of these activities. Of course, we want to synergize with the Government of India's Ayush Ministry, which supports Ayurveda study and practice. And of course, we want to also affiliate with many India-based institutions in promoting this. How to participate with HUA? Obviously, the very first thing you can do is to take courses at HUA, enroll in a program of study. Of course, you can contribute financially, consistently over the next 5 years. That will be very helpful. And lastly, what you can do is to volunteer to expand the Friends of HUA network in your area. And there is the opportunities to give. Esther is our Director of Advancement. You can reach her and so on. Now, just a few thoughts on Friends of HUA. What does Friends of HUA mean, right? We want to establish regional teams, regional chapters, if you will, based on individual states and cities, which become Friends of HUA chapters in those regional states and cities. Ideally constituted by students of HUA, alumni of HUA, well-wishers of HUA, and so on, who engage in some form of community outreach and broad engagement with both the Hindu community on the one hand and the spiritual but not religious community in the West, which has been developing over many, many decades now. We want to promote the Bhagavad Gita Pariksha competition, which is a competition for school level, high school and below level kids. And the intention of this competition is to promote interest in embracing, studying the Bhagavad Gita. We want to get our younger generation to embrace the Bhagavad Gita as a lifelong companion. We've already done 2 of these competitions in the last 2 years. Both were done in one temple at the Hindu Society of North Carolina in Raleigh. We want to expand this, and this is one thing which the Friends of HUA chapters can undertake. We envision this competition as becoming a sort of a national competition across many, many states and cities. The Friends of HUA chapters can also do small outreach events showcasing HUA in local geographies. Identify prospective high-value donors who may support HUA with their current gifts, with their legacy gifts. Legacy gifts means somebody who's very wealthy, who's going to leave behind a large estate, maybe with tens of million dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars. We want to engage with them to seek a portion of their estate to be allocated to HUA for the future growth and development of Hindu University of America. Fundraising gala events in the local cities, local geographies. This could be another activity of Friends of HUA. And then outreach to schools, college campuses, Hindu HUA chapters, young Hindus, Hindu students' councils, building relationships with universities, colleges, and campuses across the country, so that HUA can have a dialogue with these academic spaces, across the United States of America. Now, some chapters are already emerging. So, for example, we had one of our first major events, Friends of HUA events in Houston last year in 2023. And this year we had events in Washington, D.C., Virginia area, followed by an event in New Jersey. And these events are all kind of launch pads for Friends of HUA chapters. Where was the next one? Atlanta. Here is Atlanta. So we had an event. Esther personally spearheaded the Friends of HUA chapter launch in Atlanta. We had another event in Indianapolis that just happened a few weeks ago. We just finished an event in Los Angeles, California, again just a couple of weeks ago. We've already done one last year in the Bay Area. We want to continue in the Bay Area. We certainly would like to have a Friends of HUA chapter in Seattle. It's yet to emerge. Dallas, the city where I live, certainly deserves a Friends of HUA chapter, and I myself must be working on generating that chapter. This is Chicago, Illinois. I think this is right for the development of a chapter. Orlando, Florida. This is a home city. Essentially, it ought to have a much more robust Friends of HUA chapter than perhaps any other city in the US, and it doesn't yet have that, and that is something we are looking forward to developing. This is Denver, Colorado. There's a lot of potential there. Where was the next one that came up? Cleveland, Ohio. we have an alumni there who can, a student who can perhaps help us with that. Philadelphia. I don't know where the next one is popping up. I can't see it anymore. Is this New York, perhaps? Boston area. This is Phoenix in Arizona. What is this? In Portland, Oregon. No, I'm not able to see where it's spot. We've got Raleigh, North Carolina. It certainly deserves a chapter. And so on. Okay. The bottom line is that we want to encourage all of you and invite you to participate in developing these Friends of HUA chapters. Here is Detroit, Michigan. This is San Antonio in Texas.
Yeah.
Boston, New York, and so on. So, well, you can, of course, donate immediately, make a contribution or a 5-year pledge. That's a little update on the Friends of HUA framework that we are working with. Okay. So I would like to open up the space for some discussions now, questions, and we'd like to invite you to put your questions in the Q&A box, if you could, okay? But while you do that, Esther, you want to follow up with a few comments on what I just shared?
Yeah, I just want to begin with Dr. Linda Mood. Dr. Linda, you are in Orlando area, and she says she would love to be a part of such a chapter there. Yeah, such an organization there. She says, yeah, it's a Friends of HUA chapter, and thank you so much, Dr. Linda, for that response. We would love to connect with you and see how we can take this chapter forward. And because Orlando is the home of HUA, like Kalyanji just said, we need to have a much more robust Friends of HUA chapter there than in any other city or town in the US. So we would love to hear from you. We'll see how we can take this forward. Thank you so much again. So this is a yatra. This is a yajna. So yatras and yajnas are never made alone, never done alone. We definitely need your hands to do this, to complete this yajna. Well, this yajna is never going to be complete because there's a lot of work that we need to do. And since HUA has pioneered it, we just need more hands to lift it up to where we envision to take it. So Kalyanji just said that he listed a number of opportunities for Friends of HUA. He also listed a number of opportunities, number of the mission and the vision and the number of things we want to accomplish in the coming years. So we are requesting you to reach out to us, write to us, and we would like to hear from you how you are in a position to contribute to HUA, volunteer, organize events, annual giving, financial contribution, whichever way your situation allows you to.
Yeah, let me just drop in the chat a form. If you haven't filled it out, you can fill out this form and we can get your information. That way I'll also do a poll. Deepali Saxena ji, I know you filled out the form. Love, I know I saw your submission earlier. Glad that you're here and want to be part of the Friends of HUA. We're definitely going to do follow-up. Janti ji wants to help with the Friends of HUA in Seattle. Look forward to meeting you in person when I come for the Sanskrit camp. Yes, glad that you're going to be there for the Sanskrit camp. And glad that you're willing to help in Seattle. Kumuji, I see your hand up. We'll get to you and let you ask your question. I know you're in the Boston area. There's other questions coming in the chat on Ayurveda. The degree programs are online, but there will be in-person kind of things in California. Um, and I know, Kalyanji, you're probably also looking at this. So I have that form in the chat, and let me just launch a quick poll if you would like to be part of the Friends of HUA. I said, do you want to lead your local chapter? That's one of those things that we continue to have need of, right? People in their local areas willing to actually lead a chapter. And maybe we'll talk about what that looks like and how you can take leadership, or if you want to participate with the local chapter, different levels, and if you need more information or not. So please fill out that poll. I put it in the chat, that form that you can also submit. Yeah, Raji in the SFO Bay Area, there is definitely an opportunity there. The group is functioning kind of, and we'd love to plug you into that. We'll do that.
So,
Kalyanji.
Ankur, just at this time, right? The Ankur has shared a form in the the form. Okay, so he's put a link on the form, link of the form. Just to click on the link, and then it's the way you want to get started. You fill in the form and provide your information, and we'll be in touch with you. And we have a weekly call. We have a weekly Friends of HUA call every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, where we'll be talking about a variety of aspects of developing this Friends of HUA network. We'll start, some of you who can participate can, join those calls and then get into the conversation in a more substantive basis. Okay. So,
Dr. Linda Mood has asked a good question. She says,
mhm.
some of our Hindu friends here are older. How might we put HUA in our wills?
Yeah. Just the best way is to express that intention. We'll be in touch with you, and we'll have one of our board members is an attorney, and Esther and that attorney will probably get in touch with you and work with you one-on-one on those things, because those are very much more substantive conversations. We will have that on a one-on-one basis, but it begins with somebody expressing an interest, saying, yeah, I want to leave something behind for HUA.
So Dipali ji, Namaste Dipali ji, she said, would love to be friends of HUA. Where are you from, Dipali ji? If you can drop that in the chat or in the Q&A section.
Yeah. Kumuji, I think you lowered your hand. Maybe I'll get back to you. Okay, so we didn't answer your question. I'll unmute you shortly. Kunduji, yes, we are doing a lot to engage younger generation school-age children. As Kalyanji mentioned, that Bhagavad Gita Pariksha is specifically designed for school-age children, and we have other initiatives that we'll get into as the conversation goes, and maybe separately as well. So Kundaji, thank you for that question, which is always coming up because that's at the top of so many minds across all over. Kalyanji?
So let me speak a little bit about Bhagavad Gita Pariksha. Okay, so what does it mean? Okay, it's a competition, and the way we've formulated it is a day-long event. It's a one-day-long event, and what essentially happens is people assemble. People, when I say people, I mean kids assemble, and they are divided into two age groups. In fact, now there is three age groups. 10th grade and above is one age group. 9th grade and below is a second age group. And then, of course, there are children who are much younger, like the 5th grade and below also. There are three groups. For the two older groups, 10th grade and above, and 6th to 9th grades, there is a written test, which is a 1.5 hour test with 50 questions. The 50 questions are all multiple choice questions, conducted much like an SAT. It's on the Bhagavad Gita. and students complete the test. Then there is a grading that's completed, and the top performing kids are elevated to the next round. The next round is an orals round, which is conducted after lunch, like in the afternoon, maybe around 2 o'clock or so. And there's a panel of judges, and these kids are asked to come on stage, and the judges ask questions pertaining to the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, and the kids give their answers. They are again scored on a scale, on a points system. And finally, there is prizes and awards. So usually it starts at 9 in the morning and ends at 5 in the evening. It includes lunch, breakfast, maybe some other entertainment events during the day, like chanting and cultural activities and so on. But this has been fantastic. It's the 2 times we've conducted it. It's been really great, and we hope that this Bhagavad Gita Pariksha competition will become in course of time as popular as the spelling bee competition that we are all familiar with in the US, right? So this would be a fantastic opportunity to take up on behalf of HUA and popularize it in partnership with your local mandirs, and the tests are always physically conducted within a premises of a mandir, a temple in your area. Okay.
Binduji, thank you for the response. So Binduji says that she would like to participate in Bhagavad Gita for kids in the Bay Area. So Binduji, did you want to take it up as an event, or are you looking for participation of your kids, or you want to organize the event? So we can get in touch with you, and we can see how we can make that happen.
And I dropped a link about the BGP in the chat. It's a little bit long, but that's because we were trying to use diacritics. And so the link gets a little. Binduji says she wants to help with the event. That is great. We will definitely be in touch. Shall I give Kumuji an opportunity to ask her question now?
Yeah, okay.
All right,
Yeah,
Kumuji,
hi.
you should be. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, hi. Sorry, I'm not turning the camera on. But yeah, so basically to Kalyanji, I was going to say that can you put out a national call, like put out a press release, and we can put it, like I can put it on the East Coast Indian papers. There's one that goes out to the tri-state area saying that people who are interested in starting chapters, please get in touch with whoever. So because people don't know that, a lot of people may not know you exist, and secondly they may not know that you're looking to start chapters or whatever, right? So if you put out a general national call for chapters press release, if you send me one, I can definitely put it in the Boston area, I can put it in the tri-state area. And then also in that, maybe you could put that you have these informational webinars every Thursday for someone who wants to start a chapter and who has questions. So that was one point. The second point was this Friends of HUA. There is a WhatsApp group that I'm part of, but I would not know that unless Ankur had told me. So maybe you could put that WhatsApp icon on your website if you want people to join that Friends of HUA group. And then the third point is a question that are you, like, what is your relationship with VHPA? Because that's a great partner to have. Those people would definitely be interested in this type of discourse and courses. So that was more of a question. So that's it. Thanks.
So let me, the first two are suggestions you are making. We'll happily accept your suggestions. We'll work on, taking the actions that you are suggesting. The last question is, you're asking what is your relationship with the VHPA? Well, the current president of Vishwa Hindu Parishad of America is Dr. Ajay Shah, and he's on the board of Hindu University of America. So he's got a I mean, he's got a bird's eye view of everything going on at HUA. So that is a relationship that it's already there. And for example, the Hindu Mandir Empowerment Council, HMEC, is an initiative of VHPA. We participate. We've now been participating with that annual event for probably 3-4 years in a row now. Um, can that relationship be strengthened? Yeah, I'm absolutely sure that it can be strengthened, but it's already there. That would be my answer to that
Yeah,
question.
Kalanji, I just add, maybe you don't know, Jay Bunselji reached out to us to actually clearly articulate the history and interaction of VHPA with HUA. So I'm trying to get that to him because VHPA is doing a whole initiative on their different initiatives and where they're at and the successes. So we are going to be putting that out as a kind of a blog or a article soon as well.
Okay. Okay. Is it okay? We'll take that offline. Yeah. Okay. All right. There is in the Q&A box, there are a few comments. Jayashri ji has expressed a concern about excessive integration of Ayurveda into Western medicine. That is an important concern. It is very legitimate. It's valid. In fact, Jayashri ji, I would say that this Westernization of Ayurveda has already happened to some extent in India itself. The BAMS degree, what is called the Bachelor of Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery, BAMS degree in India, that's offered in India today as a degree that takes people into the space of practice of Ayurvedic medicine. That degree program is already influenced substantially by Western medicine, by allopathic medicine, right? So this risk does exist, and your cautionary note here is very, very legitimate and valid. And we will be trying at HUA to preserve the authenticity and integrity of Ayurvedic practice in the West. So thank you for that comment. Krishna Gowda is saying, please say something about Vaishnava. That's not the topic today, Krishna Gowda ji. I mean, I understand you have an interest in that. We'll do something in a future webinar on that topic. Yeah, Ayurveda, Dr. Buddhi Prasad, okay, if you're interested in yeah, these are all possibilities for the future, okay? Yeah, last question, anonymous attendees asking for accreditation related details. Yeah, we are going to be applying for accreditation. We are right now bringing CCA into the HUA family, and we hope that our application will be going in very soon, very, very soon. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, we have one on chat from
Mhm.
Bitaji. Is this degree certification valid in USA? You mean the Ayurveda degree, Babitaji?
Yeah, she, uh,
So she means the Ayurveda
yeah,
is it valid in the USA?
yeah, absolutely. See, the validity of a degree, right? See, there are, validity can be defined in 3 levels. Okay, the first level is it accredited? Accredited means what? Accredited means is the program does the program meet a certain standard established by an external accreditation agency, which is recognized by the Department of Education, Government of United States of America. Okay, that is accreditation. Does that exist for Ayurveda? The answer is no. It doesn't even exist for Ayurveda today. And that's something we will be working on, just to get the accreditation in place. once accreditation is in place, there is another level, which is what we might call licensure. You know, if you are licensed to practice Ayurveda by a state board of Ayurveda, okay, does that exist in the United States? No, it does not exist. Okay, licensure is unlikely to emerge without accreditation first getting established. You know, licensure is another level of validity, legitimacy, right? And then the third level is reimbursements from insurance companies, which say that, hey, if you take a course of treatment on Ayurveda, we will reimburse you for it. That's the next level. Without accreditation, licensure, it's very hard to get to reimbursements. Okay, so this is a bit of a journey, and we are in early stages of it. We will be an integral participant in enabling that journey towards accreditation, licensure, and reimbursement in the Ayurveda domain. Any other questions?
Yeah, Mahadevan Sitaramanji actually just pinged me and said, talk about our engagement at the Hindu Yuva conference. I dropped a little blog about our participation at this recent Yuva conference. And it's just an example of if there's a conference, if there's an event, if there's something going on in your community that you think HUA should be a part of, we could benefit from, we can outreach and synergize and connect with, we'd be happy to. And that's the idea of the Friends of HUA, right? Expand and increase our capacity so that we can be at these different Hindu events, develop the Hindu ecosystem. Kalyanji said at HMEC, we gained more mind space over the last couple of years because of our consistent engagement and presenting our different courses, our different programs, the different initiatives we have that we are building, creating, developing with your participation, with your support, your encouragement and ideas. We are a Hindu platform for us, for all of us. And we want to be partners in this. We want to develop and grow. And so like at this Yuva conference, we had a table, we handed out information, we had an opportunity, Dr. Indu Vishwanathan had a opportunity to give a little panel. If you know other events, conferences, again, opportunities for HUA to engage, yes, please share, and we'd be happy to set that up. And that's kind of my job as the director of outreach. So please, if you have those opportunities, send an email to me. We'll schedule a time. We'll talk about it. And we are taking that step as HUA to be more present in the community, on the ground, in these local cities, in the cities, in your local areas. So that's definitely one of the major intentions of this this webinar in particular. Thank you, Mahaji, for reminding me on that.
And the Friends of HUA, emerging Friends of HUA network also. Okay, I think that is it. That is our webinar for today. We can conclude, Ankur.
Esther, I think you have something else that you wanted to share. No, because you went from Houston to Atlanta, kind of seeding two of those chapters with different events, inviting people in, connecting. Maybe you could just talk on that a little bit and how it's been for you. And last chance for other folks to drop any questions or comments.
Yeah, the idea is to, with each of these events that we do in multiple cities, sometimes in the same city multiple times, the idea is to bring in new people into the know of HUA. So we're trying to spread the word, like Kumuji just mentioned. A lot of people do not know that we exist. So now is the time, and because we are achieving these, we've recently achieved this milestone, and many more to go in the coming years. So now is the time for us to go out into the community and tell people that we are here, and kind of give a clarion call for the local folks to join us in their local cities.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you all
okay,
for joining. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste, everybody.
Thank you.